What happened in 2010 that made Florida's famous water park, SeaWorld, shut down forever? Why do people still cry when they remember that day? And why did the public pressure the government to close the park immediately? This is the story of a friendship that ended in a way no one could have ever imagined. The year was 2010. The weather in Orlando, Florida was perfect. Thousands of people had gathered in SeaWorld's Shamu Stadium. Everywhere you looked, there was joy, like a festival. Children were running around, and everyone was waiting for one show. There were only two reasons people came that day. First, the world's largest orca, Tilikum. Second, his skilled and beloved trainer, Dawn Brancheau. But this story didn't start in 2010. It began years earlier, when Dawn was just a little girl playing by the sea near her home. One day, she found a tiny whale on the shore, only 4 feet long, injured and weak. Dawn rescued the whale, took it home, placed it in her swimming pool, and cared for it day and night. Slowly, the whale began to recover. Dawn played with it, mimicked its movements, and the two formed a bond that seemed impossible between a human and an animal. One day, a man noticed this, the organizer of a large marine park. He bought the whale from Dawn's father, hoping to train it for performances. But at the park, something strange happened. The whale refused to perform with any trainer, stopped eating, and stayed silent. Meanwhile, Dawn also became sad and withdrawn. Then, one day, her father brought her to the park as a surprise. The moment the whale saw Dawn, it began to leap in the water, make sounds, and respond to her every signal. The crowd was stunned, leaving other shows to watch this whale leap 20 feet high, following the little girl's commands. The organizer immediately told Dawn's father, "This whale will perform only with Dawn, and I want her to be its trainer." Dawn accepted, and from that moment, she became part of SeaWorld, forever with Tilikum. On that sunny day in 2010, the show began as usual. Tilikum moved gracefully in the water, while Dawn sat close, giving him treats. The audience laughed and clapped. Everything seemed normal, until the next moment changed everything. Suddenly, Tilikum grabbed Dawn's arm in his jaws and pulled her underwater. At first, people thought it was part of the show, but then screams filled the stadium. Trainers threw ropes and nets, but Tilikum wouldn't let anyone near. Bubbles, noise, fear. For 17 minutes, the struggle went on. And when Tilikum finally came to the surface, Dawn was gone. The next day, Tilikum became restless without Dawn, stopped eating, and stayed sad all the time. He let no one come near, and perhaps didn't even realize what he had done. For a week, they tried to bring him back to normal, but failed. Finally, out of fear and under enormous public pressure, they released him back into the ocean. That same public pressure also forced SeaWorld to shut down forever. And so a friendship that began with rescuing a tiny whale by the sea ended in a tragedy so haunting that even today, it brings tears to the eyes.